Hello there and welcome back to Friendonkey Wrestling Season 2. We are just a couple of episodes away from the finale, the big one, WrestleMania. We've got the hell of a show lined up ahead of us here this evening. As once again in your main event, The Fiend, the current FDW champion, will be in action. Now, we were supposed to be opening the show with a number one contenders tag match, but there's been some developments backstage, and the Viking Raiders were really not happy with how their match against the New Day ended a couple of episodes ago, with them scoring a count-out victory over them. I don't think they've earned their shot at the number one contendership, so after mulling it over, we are putting the number one contenders match on hold. That will be taking place next week. But tonight we'll be having a rematch between the Viking Raiders and the New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods. But this time it will be Extreme Rules. No countouts, no disqualifications. First tag team to pick up pinfall or submission will be the winners. So there can be no questions, no asterisks. Come the end of this, we need a definitive winner. Winner of this match joins the Usos, like I said, and then the winner of that match will go on to WrestleMania to fight Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for the Tag Team Championship. There's still lots to be decided as WrestleMania is starting to take shape. Also confirmed for WrestleMania, we have Roman Reigns versus The Fiend for the World Championship. We have Kairi Sane, who will be in action later on this evening. She'll be going one-on-one with Tiffany Stratton. And we have Gunter versus Ilya Dragunov confirmed for WrestleMania. Also happy to announce that there will be one final Supremacy match at WrestleMania. All three brands putting their best foot forward one last time in a triple threat match at the granddaddy of them all. Lots of matches on the card. It's going to be a two-part spectacular, so look forward to that one. New Day coming out the gate strong over the Viking Raiders. New Day perhaps feeling a little bit hard done by, as Kofi Kingston grabs a table. He knows what's up. Eric looking to take charge of Big E now, but Big E able to power through and use his strength against Eric's own strength. This match, of course, with WrestleMania implications, as one of these two teams could find themselves with tag team championships around their waist in the future. They've got to get past the Usos first, but they've got to get past each other first, then past the Usos, then past the Shield. But bringing a sledgehammer to the occasion is certainly a good way to do that, Xavier Woods. Trash can now, as Eric introduces it into the match. And Big E, again, dominant over Eric. Gorilla press. That is strength from the big man there. This has been all New Day so far, I must say. Looking to prove to the Viking Raiders, the enforcers of FDW, that they are above a count-out victory. Because that's not really how we do business here. There have been far too many count-outs this season, and we're not going to have any shenanigans like that on the road to WrestleMania. If there's one team who isn't going to stand for that, it's going to be the Viking Raiders. And who can blame them? Earlier on this season, putting the Usos in their place. And since then, it's been Imperium, really. But the Shield blew the tag division apart as Ivar looks for a pinfall attempt on Big E. Xavier Woods all caught up on the outside with Eric. These two teams going hell for leather. Still to come this evening, we've got the Fiend in action. Singles action against the third member of the New Day, Kofi Kingston. Which should be a cracking main event. As speaking of cracking, Xavier Woods just cracks a chair off the skull off of Ivar. And now just starts brutalizing down the Viking. Jimmy getting nearly caught up in the running boulder that is Ivar. As two big powerhouses doing what they do best. Ivar looks for a pinfall attempt over Xavier Woods, but Big E senses it and goes leaping to the aid of Woods. Gorilla press from Big E, and that is strength. But he finds himself isolated against the Viking Raiders, and that's somewhere you don't really want to be in a matchup like this. Neck breaker from Woods. Woods grabbing the chair now. Just taunting the Viking Raiders to bring it even more. Eric wisely rolling out of the way. Not needing the weapon, but Big E with the huge overhead suplex. And as powerful as the Viking Raiders are, you cannot deny that Big E has been the big boy in this match. Count of 1 over Ivar. And Xavier Woods not quite able to get it done. The New Day are firmly in control here with Ivar isolated in the ring. You've got to think this is advantage New Day. As they seek to solidify their spot in the #1 contenders match. Eric looks to grab a ladder and bring it to the ring. As we really are in an Extreme Rules match now, ladies and gentlemen. Xavier Woods with the wheelbarrow roll through over the ladder. Big splash there from Big E. Only a 2 count. But Xavier Woods walks the top rope and drops the elbow, but doesn't quite connect and just sort of takes out his own leg on the ladder in the process. Goes to that sledgehammer once again on the Viking Raiders. All of the loot and plunder at their fingertips. Huge delayed jackhammer there from Big E, perhaps as Ivar rolls through. Jimmy can't quite get into position. And it's all breaking down in a hurry. The miscommunication as Ivar plants Big E firmly into the mat. Wood senses the pin and comes to the aid of the big one. Swinging neckbreaker from Woods to Ivar. And New Day have been by each other's side all match long. As Ivar now rolls out the ring, Woods rolls through with a Hurricane Rana, looks to get the pinfall. There's the 1, there's the 2, and it's only a 2 count as Big E marches round the ring and looks to club those massive steps over the head of Ivar. Eric just spikes Xavier Woods into his own knee. And there's a win for the Viking Raiders. Much to the dismay of the New Day, who feel perhaps that they've been screwed over a little bit there. They were supposed to be in the #1 contenders match. But now we have a definitive winner. It was the Viking Raiders. Into cruiserweight action now, as Ilya Dragunov, who has his match confirmed for WrestleMania, still has his duties to attend to as cruiserweight champion in that division. We'll be going one-on-one with Tommaso Ciampa, but say his name and he shall appear. I believe in the ring general. Gunter ambushing Ilya Dragunov ahead of his match here, and it has been back and forth for several episodes now between these two. Gunter ambushing Dragunov, Dragunov on Gunter, Gunter on Dragunov once again. Baseball slide from Tommaso Ciampa, looking to capitalise early with a huge bead trigger knee. Big strike from Ciampa, who is still seeking his own championship success. Big boot from Ilya Dragunov. who looks to take control. Side suplex. And almost in a bit of a dog measuring contest. Dragunov could do with still picking up the win here, as after Dragunov's ambush last week on Gunter, Gunter managed to fell Tyler Breeze and still stand victorious. Can Dragunov pick up victory here over Tommaso Ciampa? A victory en route to his match with the Ring General at WrestleMania. I'm getting word that the New Day have just turned up backstage and they are not happy at all with the outcome of this evening's match and feel that they still want one more match just for the #1 contendership. As they won their first match and the Viking Raiders won this one, they feel screwed over and hard done by. Well, I'll have a look at things and see what I can do. But we need to determine #1 contenders before Mania, that's for sure. As Rollins and Reigns are awaiting competitors. If the New Day and the Viking Raiders can't sort it out, perhaps we give it to the Usos by default. Scrapping on the outside now. Dragunov and Ciampa. Speaking of count-out victories and shenanigans, is this really how Ilya Dragunov of Imperium is going to get a win once again? I mean, why break the habit of a lifetime? That's what they've been doing all season long. Dragunov taking a count-out victory. Well, I never. I said he needed a win, and he picked one up. Speaking of someone who needs a win, Kairi Sane needs one, and she was supposed to be going one-on-one with Bianca Belair this evening, but it seems like Belair has found herself a little bit of assistance at ringside. Now Stratton has been playing mind games with Kairi Sane ever since before Fastlane, really. But since Fastlane, it's gone into next level. She knew her championship match was confirmed for Mania. But as it stands, I don't know how much of a threat Kairi Sane actually poses to Tiffany Stratton. Are the mind games having that much of a toll on Kairi Sane's performance in that she picks up loss after loss? And Sane wanted this on the road to WrestleMania. She wanted to fight all former champions. So I've granted her wish, but is she regretting that decision now? She lost to Fallon Henley. She lost last week to Tegan Nox. And now she's stepping up against Bianca Belair, of all people. One of the most dominant champions we've ever seen on the channel. Former FDW champion, former Liberty champion.
And representing the Kabuki Warriors from Yamaguchi,
and Kairi Sane now, the Women's Royal Rumble winner. Mania getting closer and closer every single day. Sane needs a win. She goes off the ropes immediately using her unorthodox offense, but Tiffany Stratton must be taking lots of mental notes now, seeing how Kairi Sane operates, knowing what to expect on the grandest stage of them all. Same with a double stomp. Going immediately after Belair. We've seen Belair in action recently, tagging with Tegan Nox a few episodes ago in what was an unbelievable tag team performance, it must be said. Belair, very much the unbelievable competitor, a standout of the women's division of Season 2. Looks to get a pinfall early over Kairi Sane. Seeking to get back to winning routes as she hits the split leg splash over Kairi Sane. Sane with the airplane spin. Dragging Bianca Belair down to the mat. As Belair hits the sit-out powerbomb on Kairi Sane. And follows her up to the outside as Sane looked to get a bit of breathing room. You can't be looking for that sort of free space in a match like this against a competitor the caliber of Bianca Belair. Standing shooting star press from Belair, and Kairi Sane has got to up her game. As Stratton watches on, Belair goes to the top rope, hits the elbow drop onto the Women's Royal Rumble winner. And there's the 3. And Belair barely broke a sweat.
Here is your winner.
It's another loss for Kairi Sane. What is she going to do? She has 2 weeks to figure out a game plan. 2 weeks to figure out what she's going to do against Stratton. Two weeks to get her act together. And speaking of getting act together, one man who has got his act together in the final stretch of the season, I say man, it's your FDW champion. The Entity, the Demon, the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Going one-on-one with Kofi Kingston. As Wyatt now proudly sporting the FDW Championship round his face. We saw him last time out come down with both his Twisted Championship made out of the Fiend. Perhaps the face of his former self. But the face of his former self is currently in his right hand, as this is the Fiend in his final form. And it's taken until his final form to get here. But the FDW Championship is around his neck. As Bray Wyatt now seeks to hurt or heal Kofi Kingston, depending on your point of view. He's terrorized so many in the locker room now. Ambushing the likes of Axiom, Tyler Breeze, Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre, Karrion Kross, and staring into your soul. He has a date with Destiny at WrestleMania, as he will be putting the FDW Championship on the line against Roman Reigns. But before all that though, he wants competition. And Kofi The ever-positive Kofi is stepping up to the plate. Last time out we saw him, or we saw The Fiend, take down the heart and soul of FDW Ricochet. Perhaps Kofi Kingston feels he has enough heart to fight for the soul of FDW. But perhaps Kofi has bitten off a little more than he can chew. As he goes straight after The Fiend, who's having none of it, just pushes him away. And before tossing him over his shoulder, like a sack of spuds, and goes for a pinfall, just wanting absolutely nothing to do with Kofi here this evening. The Fiend terrorizing. Kofi looking to take charge, but Wyatt powering out. Massive clothesline there. Just drops Kofi Kingston before following up with a senton. The Fiend in control. Choking Kofi Kingston now. Kofi with the kipper. Lots of energy. Drop kick off the second rope. Got to keep that positive energy flying high here, Kofi Kingston. Or will he be just another soul for Wyatt to devour? Kofi targeting the leg. Slightly in control. And just as I say that, Wyatt reverses the control by rolling out the way. Big slap there from Wyatt to Kofi Kingston, who stands dazed and confused by commentary. Flying clothesline knocks Wyatt for 6. Dazed and confused, Wyatt looks to take back control. And as Wyatt tweaked his arm slightly, perhaps with that assault from Kingston. The Fiend marching round the ringside. Count of 6 now from Doug. As Wyatt soaks up the crowd. Kofi comes off with a crossbody on the second rope, connecting with Wyatt and taking him down in the process. Go for the deep arm drag. Takes an opportunity to cover. All it takes is 3 seconds. 3 seconds of Wyatt broken concentration, and judging by the look on his face, or faces, his concentration could be broken a lot of the time, but he seems focused now and picking apart his prey. Sort of out slamming Kingston there, who gets into a modified code red there, sweeping through. As Kofi Kingston just taunts Bray Wyatt back to his feet. Trouble in Paradise from Kingston connects on Bray Wyatt, and that could be all she wrote. This would be huge for Kofi. Wyatt kicks out. Kofi feeling the adulation of the crowd. He knows they're on his side. He needs to feed off that positive vibes. A win for Kofi here would be huge. Wyatt back in control. As he taunts Kingston, hits a senton that just flattens Kingston to the mat. As now they start clubbing off on each other. Going hell for leather. Hell for leather face, if you like. Can Kofi exercise this demon as well? Bray Wyatt just taunting Kofi to keep bringing it, and then just putting him in his place. Wyatt to the top rope now, not letting Kofi Kingston have any respite as he drops a massive senton to the outside. And that is obscene. Mandible claw to Kingston. That could be Kofi out cold on the outside of the ring. As he struggles for air. Fighting to breathe. Count of 4 now. Sister Abigail to Kofi Kingston on the outside, and Bray does not look at all like he's bothered about getting this done in the ring. He wants to hurt Kofi Kingston. Simple as that. Count of 7. He gets Kofi up and flings him back to the ring. He knows he's got him where he wants him. Drags him away from the ropes. Is Kofi out cold? He's lifeless. And there's the 3 count. Another dominant display from the FDW Championship. What? That's Randy Orton. Randy Orton, the Royal Rumble winner, has arrived on FDW and has got eyes on the Fiend. And I am left speechless. Well, some questions have been asked there. It was looking like we were all set for WrestleMania. But the spanner out of nowhere that is Randy Orton. We mustn't forget he won the Royal Rumble. It looks like he wants a piece of Wyatt as well. Well, I'm going to have a look at some stuff backstage and try to figure out this mess. Surely Roman Reigns isn't going to be happy. We also need to figure out what's going on with the New Day, as they are not happy after the result this week. So stay tuned to FDW Season 2. With 2 weeks to go towards WrestleMania, it's all just been blown wide open. I'm looking forward to finding out what happens, and I hope you are too. See you soon.